Hello and welcome to Wheeler Dealers, a show that's in love with cars from the 60s, 70s and 80s. Now, we pride ourselves on saving modern classics from the crusher, and this time I'm on a mission to find a VW Beetle that's in need of some TLC. Finding one to buy and do up should be easy, since there are thousands of enthusiasts out there keeping the Beetle flame alight. The trademark teardrop shape is known and loved the world over, and even today, it looks like nothing else. Which end's the front? Is that it? Boot in the front, engine in the back. That was the kind of quirky idea that made the Bug so unusual. Together with the Mini, the 2CV and the Model T Ford, the VW Beetle is one of motoring's most enduring icons. In fact, it was recently named Car of the... Finding a Bug isn't difficult, but finding a good, cheap, straight one is more tricky. I need one that's right for some TLC, but not too much, because Ed will never forgive me. After a lot of hair pulling and phone bashing, I was getting nowhere through the weekly mags. Time for some drastic action. With over 20 million Beetles sold since its launch, you'd think I'll be able to find a decent one in the country somewhere, wouldn't you? Well, I had a word with a guy who lives in Hampshire, and he says he's got a classic example hidden in a barn, and I love those barn finds. Well, guess what? This is it, and what a complete waste of my time. This car is a scrapper. It's not fit for anything other than the dustbin. Do you know, I'm going to find the fella who said this is a classic, and I'm going to make him explain himself. Peter, I'm not being funny, mate. This is beyond a joke. You said it was a classic on the phone. The bumpers are gone, no headlamps, the wheels are shot, no running balls, the wheel arches are gone through. I haven't even got round the other side yet. Where is there a classic in this?
Oh, the Beetle is a classic car. All these parts are just cosmetic. They're easily replaceable.
Cosmetic, my bum. That's going to cost an absolute fortune to put right. You said it was a nice, tiny example on the phone. I should ask you for my petrol money back. I think you've wasted my day.
I assure you, underneath it is really, really solid.
Underneath it may be a solid car, but I'll still do it. It's never going to go, though, is it?
Of course it will. I drove it in it.
When was that? 1985? Ed. Yeah, it's Mike. What a waste of time, Ed. No, honestly, I know you've seen some bad cars, but this takes the biscuit. I mean, the bodywork alone is going to take you hours and hours and hours. I mean, it's not going to go, is it, either? You're going to have mechanicals, the work you're going to have to do to it. No, actually, that is the sound of the car starting up. Yeah. Do you really... I think you're mad. I think you're absolutely mad. Okay. All right. I'll call you back. Cheers. Right then, Pete. Well, you proved your point. It does go. Mate, I'm not being funny. It is a shed, though, isn't it? I mean, it's the worst car. It's likely to be the worst car I've ever bought in my whole life. And that's saying something for me, I promise you. I was going to say, what, 100 quid?
No. I could break it for 2.5.
2.5? You could break this for? You're wrong, mate. It's rotten as a pear, this car. 200 quid, cash, and that's it. Whether you want to take it or not, it's up to you. I'm not bothered either way, because I think he's wrong.
Well, tell you what then, you own it.
Do I? Oh dear. I wish I didn't. Come on, let's do the paperwork. Oh dear. In the cold light of day, my mechanic Ed's got to make good his claims that he can make this Bug beautiful. I have a horrible feeling we've bitten off more than we can chew. And I think so does he. Oh dear. Ed! Hello. How are you? I don't even want to shake your hand, fella. Come on. What a waste of money, Ed. Your face speaks 1,000 words.
Did you drive it here?
Did I drive it here? Does it look like I drove it here, Ed?
The engine worked and everything.
Listen, I got a reputation to uphold. I couldn't be seen dead in a shed like this. Ed, I'm not being funny, mate, but you said, oh, don't worry, you get wings for a tenner.
Wings are cheap.
Buy a bumper, 15
Bumpers
quid.
are cheap, yeah, but you also said
mate,
that the running boards are, missing. That's fair enough. But what about the seals? The seals are completely knackered.
It was up to here in straw. How can I don't know anything about stuff like this. I just see cars for what they are. Look at the interior, fella. I mean, the amount of work you're going to have to do, it's
a little tardy, obviously. That's a little tardy.
It's just a mess. I reckon that all we've done is thrown 200 quid into a bonfire.
Hang on, hang
Look,
on, hang
you
on.
see that building? See that building? That building's in better nick than this car.
You said this engine runs, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, like a lawnmower.
Yeah, right. Does it steer?
Well, I don't know, yeah, I suppose so.
Well, hang on. Don't, just calm down a little bit.
You're not going to turn it around, Ed, are
Yeah,
you?
we are going to
It's
turn this
too
around. This is
much.
what I do. Hang on. See, that floor pan
Yeah.
is pretty sound, right?
Yeah.
So, and this year happens to be the 40th anniversary of the beach buggy.
So?
So we'll turn this into a beach buggy. I'm serious, this is the best bit about Beetles, is everything unbolts. So we unbolt all the rubbish we don't want, throw it away, nice floor pan, engine, steering.
Mate, there's a lot of grease and oil fudging
I'm
around
serious.
up there. Mate, if you unbolt the body from this, you're going to be left behind with a rusting chassis
it's
with
in
4
good
wheels
nick.
bolted
It's
to
in
it.
good nick. Okay, we might need some new nice wheels, obviously, and do the engine up a little bit. Body, seats, interior, steering wheel, perhaps nice pod lights, they'll be there, it'll be fine. It'll be great.
Mate, I'd say you're having a laugh. We've invested, what, a couple of £100 in this pile of junk already.
Sure.
And you're talking, what, a shed load more money
yeah,
to turn it
fair
into a
chunky
beach
cash.
buggy? What's the point?
It'll be worth about £2.5 when it's done. Think of the summer, we're driving on the beach, Bermuda shorts, nice loud Hawaiian shirt, wind in the hair. It's fantastic fun.
Listen, I like the Bermuda shorts. I'm
Yeah.
dying to get them out. And I like the loud shirts. And I like the wind in the hair thing. But Ed, come
Have
on.
faith.
The
Look, come
amount of work you're
Given
going
the
to have to...
miracles I pulled off before, you know I can do it. So let's just do this one more time.
Yeah, but Ed, we haven't got months. We've got, you know...
A week. Give us a week.
A week?
Easy.
Well, you can turn us into a beach buggy in a week.
That's right. I'm having these things.
Mate, you're having a laugh.
No, seriously.
Honestly, if he can turn that into a beach buggy, I'm going to stop calling him Ed Wiener. I promise.
Any chance I'm going to get pushed back to the workshop?
No! Push it yourself. I've got better things to do. Come back after the break when we, well, start building a beach buggy. This is Wheeler Dealers, the series that's passionate about buying, renovating and selling on modern classics. This is, or was, a working VW Beetle that I gave £200 for. This, on the other hand, is a beach buggy, the height of retro core and made from cutting up a Beetle and putting on a new body. They cost a load of money and take ages to build, but our Ed reckons he can make it happen. More fall in.
Mike has got some serious reservations about this car, but trust me, he's got nothing to worry about. I cut my teeth on these things, and I know what's achievable. Underneath this ropey exterior is a mechanical heart of gold. But he does have a point. This bodywork is going to have to go. I'm going to take this body clean off this car, and these seats are in the way, so I'm going to start with them. Okay, I'm being a bit violent with a hammer, but it doesn't matter, because all this stuff is going to get junked. I'm only interested in the floor pan down.
People love Beetles because they're easy to fix, and that means they're easy to pull apart as well. Don't do this at home, kids. The floor is the best place for that back seat.
You'll see why these windows are coming out later.
Watch me, no specialist tools, just a bit of effort, and I've already started the transformation from rust bug into beach bug.
That was a bit lucky. Now, just like the seats, the fuel tank's also in the way, but because I might need it later, I'll be a bit more gentle. It's actually quite an easy job, this. I just have to do one bolt in each corner, and then crimp the fuel line.
You'll need to crimp the fuel line even if there seems to be no fuel in the tank. There's usually some lurking in there somewhere.
I'm just disconnecting the steering column from the steering box, 2 more bolts inside, and then the whole thing can come out.
You couldn't do this with a modern car, but on a VW everything is child's. This is the car I learnt my trade on, so I feel right at home.
I've got loads of bolts to undo to separate the body from the floor pan. Unfortunately, there's one on both sides, just behind this wheel, and I can't get at it because of the wing. But luckily, it unbolts, so I could use one of these. But I'm going to use one of these. There you go, that's what I was looking for, that little puppy just down there. And the best bit was, it was loads of fun. And even better than that, I got to do it again. Smashing.
I'm getting towards the fun bit where the body will just lift straight off. Once all the panels are dispensed with, I'll be able to get under the car, release 14 holding bolts, and the body shell should just come away from the floor pan. Well, that's the plan.
Ed can't build his buggy till he's got a body shell. And I might have been sceptical, but I've really thrown myself into this one. And now I'm going to get the little lad something decent to work with. Today I feel like it's my birthday because I've come down to meet a guy called Buzz. Now Buzz makes beach buggy bodies and I've done my research into these things and I didn't realise there was such a choice, but Buzz seems to make the best design. Now I've ordered one off of him and I've come down to see it, and as I say, if you could stick a candle on top and blow it out, I do feel like it's my birthday. I'm fairly excited over this. Buzz?
Mike, hello.
Come to see the beach buggy body?
Sure, come and have a look.
Cracking. Wow. Look at that. That is just fantastic.
You like it then?
I'm speechless. And that's hard. To make me speechless is hard. What a lovely shape. Is this your car?
This one's mine, yeah.
Show car or?
No, this will be seeing a bit of action in the sand later in the summer.
So it's built for fun?
Oh yes, definitely, 100%.
Now our one, is it the same shape as this?
Exactly the same shape as this, only yours is orange.
And do we get all the nice stuff like the screen and the seats?
The screen and the seats, yes, they're the same as yours.
Now when we spoke on the phone, there's hidden bits as well, bits underneath, and there was quite a long list actually.
There are a few bits. There's the steering column support, there's a battery box to go in the back, and one or two other little bits, but we'll sort all that out.
Well, I'm going to end up with a huge, great big parcel then,
I
aren't
think it's Christmas.
Will I? It's going to be brilliant. Oh, wow, look at that. That is fantastic. Is it all fairly standard?
Pretty much. It's standard internally, just cleaned up a bit with a few shiny bits bolted on.
Yeah, shiny bits. What's this big bar and this bit all about?
Well, you need this to keep people off the hot bits, and you need this to keep people off the twisty-turny bits.
Right. And that's what I suppose it's all about, isn't it? Let the engine hang out the back and let people know what you got.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm fairly intimidated looking at this. Not intimidated for me, I'm intimidated for Ed. Because to get ours...
It'll be fine. Just clean it up, stick a few shiny bits on, it'll be fine.
I hope so.
So Mike, this one's yours.
Oh, wicked. Look at the colour.
You like it?
That is wicked. What body shape is
This
this?
is the Predator.
The Predator. It is the best looking body shape.
Easily.
Do we need to do anything to it? Do it need lacquering or painting at all?
No, stick some wheels on it and bolt it on and go.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Just bolt it together?
Yeah.
Talking about bolting it together, how long will it take?
The whole thing.
Yeah.
You're looking at a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. It's only got a couple of days. But don't worry about it, because I've got plenty of midnight oil that you can burn. Listen, mate, I'm not even going to argue with you. Buzz, thank you very much. I love it. I can't wait to see this thing finish and hacking down the beach. It's going to be wicked.
For once, Mike's done the business. He paid £1,000 for the body, and things like the seats and side panels pushed the bill up to 1,500 quid. Now that's a lot, but since the car only cost us £200 in the first place, it's still under budget. Let's hope it fits. While I wait for the body to get here, I need to get rid of this old one. Easy to say and actually not that hard to do.
If this was a new car, it would be rather easy to separate the bodywork from the floor pan. There's just a row of bolts on either side of the bodywork. Unfortunately, this thing's about 4 million years old and everything's very rusty, so chances are the bolts may give me a whole load of grief. We'll have to see.
14 bolts attach the body to the floor pan, and with a bit of loosening agent, most of them come out just using an air gun, which is good, as grinding off each one would take ages.
I think I was pretty lucky there. Only 2 bolts wouldn't come out. One here and one over there. But I'm going to sort them out with this.
Once my angle grinder gets in there, the body gives way with no resistance at all.
I've undone a load of bolts, I've disconnected everything, and if I could just take you back to when I removed the rear side windows, I've got a cunning plan. I'm going to take the arms of the ramp, stick them through the holes, and actually lift the body off the floor pan. Pretty clever, huh? Only thing is, did I take out all the bolts?
And off it comes. What a perfect, magical moment. It's out with the old and in with the new. Lovely. One chassis.
And there you have it, a Volkswagen skateboard. You've got wheels at the front, floor pan in the middle, and an engine at the end. Now I've got plenty of work to be doing on this floor pan, so to make my life easier, I'm going to drop off the engine. Dropping an engine out of one of these things is really easy. There's only 4 bolts, a couple of cables, and a couple of wires. And even easier on this one, this bolt's missing.
This is the bit where I tell you to be methodical and store all the nuts in a safe place. But that's it. Otherwise, it's dead easy.
Rather than have the engine drop onto the floor, I'm going to use the trolley jack to support its weight. And that's how easy it is to remove a Beetle engine. This is the engine from our Beetle, and as is pretty obvious, it's seen better days. But I'm convinced that deep down there, in the heart of it, is an engine that is sweet and waiting to come out.
A bit of penetrating fluid, some elbow grease, and the nuts and bolts start to come apart.
Hey!
These bits are bulletproof. All they really need is a wash and brush up. Okay, so they need grinding down as well, but you get my point. Don't be scared to get stuck in. A quick splash of primer, some satin black, and these casings are transformed.
Our core tin's painted and ready to go back onto the engine, but while it's this accessible, there really is something else I must do. A bit later on, we're going to change these horrible rusty rocker covers for these lovely shiny chrome ones. But underneath the rocker covers, surprisingly, is the rockers. There you have them. There's 4 rockers, some tappets, and the valves. So the tappets are attached to the valves, and the valves bounce around when the engine is running. There's a gap, you can hear it, between the rocker and the tappet. And for absolute perfect running of the engine, that gap has to be a critical dimension. And you measure that dimension with one of these, which is a feeler gauge. Now the way to use this is to set the engine into the right position. So you rotate the crankshaft until both these valves are shut. And you can normally tell that because there should be a little bit of slack. You then get your feeler gauge and stuff it in between the rocker and the tappet. Drag it around a bit, and you should be able to feel a light drag on the metal. It's actually quite loose, that one. I'll try the other one. And that's even worse. Now, that's a bad thing, because if it's too loose, then the rockers are slapping around, making loads of noise, but also lots of damage to the engine. And worse still, the valves basically won't be open for long enough, and that means bad performance. On the other hand, if it's too tight, then basically the valves barely ever shut, and that also means bad performance. So it's critical that this measurement is spot on. Adjusting these is actually quite an easy job. First of all, I crack off the lock nut, and then I adjust the screw until I've got a nice amount of drag with my feeler gauge, just a bit more. There you go, just right. So now I just do up the lock nut again, and what I'll do is I'll keep the screwdriver in the screw at the same time, make sure it doesn't move. I'll do it up. Okay, I'll just check it one more time just to be sure. Perfect. All I have to do now is the other 3 cylinders.
There's loads more to do on this engine. Plenty of dressing and shiny things to go on. But that's enough oily stuff for now because I'm expecting a visit from Mr. Brewer and I'm not too sure what his reaction's going to be.
Ed! Hey, how are you, fella?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, you've made a good start on it.
Yeah.
You getting ready to put the new beach buggy body on it?
Well, nearly. I mean, I got the old body off. That was, quite a lot of work, but it was cool. And the engine's out, and that's really good quality, so I'm quite chuffed about that. But the thing is, with 60s beach buggies, they were always best when they were short wheelbase.
Right.
So what I had to do was take this one, once it was like this stage, and then you got your front wheels, you take off, sort of like a strip out of the middle, whiz it back together again, and weld it up.
Right, so you're reducing the distance between the rear wheels and the front wheels?
That's right, exactly. It's better looks and then better handling as well.
Okay.
Only trouble is, if you look at this rust down here,
Yeah.
I've got nothing to weld to. I could fix this, because what I have to do is cut the whole thing out, and then I'd weld in a whole new panel, and then I could shorten it. But of course, we haven't really got the time. So,
Okay.
the thing is, I've got a solution. I found somebody who can do me a new short wheelbase chassis.
Great.
Which is great. Little bit of a catch. £500.
500 quid?
Yeah. But the thing is, you only spent 200 quid on the car, so I'm thinking we're probably going to be quids in.
We're going to be quids in.
Well,
where's this confidence come
Well,
from?
it's the 40th anniversary still, of the beach buggy, that's good. And wind in your hair, it's going to be a good project to do.
Are we going to be doing this for the love rather than for the money?
Yeah, perhaps.
Can you do this, Ed? Can you pull this one off?
Of course I can.
Well, David, thank you very, very much for bringing this beautiful looking beach buggy down for us. I've got to ask you a question. Why a beach buggy? What's the appeal?
Fun vehicle, back to enjoying yourselves. A lot of cars now are just ordinary street cars. This is a bit of fun.
Right, and what made this car so special when it was first introduced?
I think just the cheapness of it all. There was a lot of old Volkswagens lying around. A cheap item. They were about $400 to buy as a kit in the States in the early 60s. And then it's become a real cult thing, and it's 40 years down the line. There's more interest now than there was probably sort of 70s and 80s.
Right, now this buggy is a work of art. I mean, it's stunning. It's a great colour. Can you just tell us some of the things that have gone on with this buggy in particular?
We wanted to make it look like a proper 70s beach buggy, a real early buggy, so we put it on a set of very early street rod style wheels, raised white leather tyres, lots of chrome. It's just exactly like a little whiz wheel beach buggy should look like.
And the engine?
That's a 1600 Volkswagen engine, but we've changed the cam, twin carbs, lots of chrome, nice exhaust, good sound, everything it should have.
So what's the basis of having a very, very good beach buggy? I mean, obviously, first things first, you need a donor car.
Yeah, a donor car, you're looking for any Volkswagen, early Volkswagen, preferably up to sort of 1973, any of those will do. Once you've got a basic car, it doesn't really matter too much about the corrosion side of it, as long as the running gear and everything else is sound.
I'm so pleased you said that, because our car's like Alka-Seltzer, there's not much left of it. Now, forget about it being a beetle for a minute. What are the problem areas with beach buggies? Is there any?
It's just getting the right pieces to go on the right car. Everybody looks at a set of wheels, I'll buy them. And they just buy them, and then they realise they're not going to fit. Just find out, get a book, read what bits will bolt on, and it will come together. It's quite simple. Once you start, it's pretty simple.
Well, they certainly look fun, and I bet they are really good fun to drive. And to be honest with you, I've never actually driven a beach buggy before in my life. So I was kind of hoping that you'd be kind enough to let me have a go.
It's yours. Whenever you want to take it away, you go drive it.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Well, as you can see, I certainly pick me days, don't I? I can't think of a worse car for this lovely English summer's day. But even so, this beach buggy reeks of fun. It's quick on the throttle, handling is go-kart tight, and there's that wonderful wow from the twin tailpipes. It feels very different from its Beetle donor car, which in truth I was never a huge fan of. Too slow, too heavy, and too many on the roads. No, this'll do me. California cruising, here we come. That's if Ed can ever put our mammoth build to bed.
With our beach buggy, essentially I'm building a kit car, and as with most kit car projects, they are fraught with danger. You never know where the next problem's going to come from. Take our old floor pan, for example. Little bit embarrassing, eating quite a bit of humble pie right now because Mike thought it was rubbish and I was convinced it was going to be great. Unfortunately, after further inspection, it turns out it was rubbish. Now, it was loads and loads of rust on it. I could have fixed it, but we just haven't got that kind of time. So we've blown the budget and bought a ready shortened floor plan. Now, it's pretty much complete, so it saves me a whole load of time and a whole load of grief, but at a cost.
This is what I'm talking about, the old floor pan. It's riddled with tinworm. I had no choice but to get another floor pan made up.
I just couldn't bring myself to put rusty old parts onto our nice new shortened floor pan. So what I've done is clean and paint all the old parts I'm going to be reusing. The back axle and gearbox assembly are ready to go, but I'm going to be concentrating on the front beam. Now you may have noticed that the drum brakes have been changed for disc brakes. That way it's actually going to help with its stopping power. Now putting this onto the car couldn't be easier. It's held on with 4 bolts. This is the rear axle and gearbox assembly. It's actually called a transaxle because it combines a transmission and an axle. Very clever. Now these tubes here hold the drive shafts, and of course you've got the drums which where the wheels attach. Now to get it onto the car is actually very easy. The transaxle bolts onto these rear forks, and then the hub area bolts onto these spring plates, which of course is part of your suspension.
If you think all this is going together like a dream, then you're right. That's because I was up all last night stripping, wire brushing and cleaning all the components to make sure they're in top-notch condition for reassembly. If you're keen to build one of these cars, don't kid yourself that it's a job you can knock off in a weekend. There's a special word for this kind of work: project. You have been warned.
Shock absorbers.
You can choose off-road shocks if that's where your car's going to spend most of its time, but I've gone for standard road kit.
The front and rear suspension is now bolted to the chassis, so I get to fit these funky tyres. You've got the skinny rubber for the front and these fat boots for the back.
Now we've bought lovely shiny new wheels, but they're pretty top end when it comes to price, around £500. If you keep an eye out on the internet, you might pick up cheap ones from projects that never got finished. Looking good, but the observant amongst you may have noticed we're missing one major thing: the engine. I'm halfway through the rebuild, so it's time to get back to the bench.
Our engine dress-up is coming together nicely, and it's now time to fit the fan housing. Now this is the original one from the Beetle, and this is one I modified earlier. I've had it lying around the workshop and thought it'd be nice to use on this project. Now on the Beetle fan housing, it's fitted with a generator, and to be fair, they're not that good at charging your battery, whereas this is fitted with a much more modern alternator, and they're way more efficient. You may also have noticed these little ducts here, and they were originally designed to heat the interior of the Beetle. But as we don't really have an interior or even a roof, I've actually shaved them off on this modified one, and the added bonus of that is they actually help cool the engine better too.
Beetles were the first cars I ever played around with, and I've stripped down dozens of them. If you're not mechanically experienced, it really is a good car to get started on. It's also a great engine to dress because so many parts are exposed. Filters like this look cool and just bolt on. Once you've adjusted the fan belt, there's a shiny case that will hide away all the dangerous spinning bits. Safety and style combined.
Now we couldn't possibly build a beach buggy without using a loud, in-your-face exhaust system. There are loads to choose from, but I've gone for the dual cannon style like these. Now they're a doddle to fit, they just bolt straight on.
It's up to you how far you go with the engine dressing. In the end, it's a matter of taste. We've gone for matte black with minimal chrome highlights. A bit like my hair colour.
No, this isn't an exotic hot tub from one of Mike's country mansions. This is actually the new body for our beach buggy. Now it is going to take some considerable fettling to get this securely into place, but I do have to offer it up just to see where everything else is going to fit. The good news is getting into position is very easy. I just need a pair of gloves.
Gloves are essential to protect both the body and my hands. This is made of fiberglass, which has a lot of rough edges and will pick up nasty scratches and marks if you don't take care with the fitting.
And there you have it. I've got to drill holes in the fiberglass, and my job has been made very easy because there are already holes in the chassis. I just use those as a guide.
I'm not even going to clamp the car down, as the weight of the body is enough to keep the shell stable as I drill. With the bonnet off, I can get down to one of the trickiest jobs.
Although our buggy has an engine, it isn't going to go anywhere without any fuel. Now, traditionally in a Beetle, the fuel tank sits here in the front, and on this kit it's exactly the same. This is an early Beetle fuel tank, and it's going to sit about here, but it doesn't fit very well yet because I have to cut a hole into the fiberglass and then drop it into position.
I'm masking off a shape which I'll then cut out. Nerve-wracking stuff, so measure twice and cut once, as a wise man once said. Use a drill bit to make a hole big enough to get your jigsaw blade in. Then it's just a matter of keeping your nerve and your aim. With the hole cut, I'm going to put the bonnet back on. Why? Well, I need to drill out another hole for the fuel filler cap. I've chopped it off the fuel tank, and once I've made my cut, located the tank and lined up all the body panels, all I need to do is weld it back together again. The finished job will look seamless, and everyone will wonder how I did it. Another day, another hole. This time it's to locate the windscreen. This funny looking thing is custom made and costs a pretty packet, £175. But using something salvaged from a scrapyard just wouldn't do it justice, so I'll have to swallow the cost. Trouble is, it's all adding up.
Beach buggies are notorious for their lively handling, but you're not going to get any handling at all without a steering wheel. And here it is. Now, I've already prepared the holes I need to actually get it into position, so now it's just a case of sliding it into place.
This steering box has come from the original car, and as ever I've refurbished it from top to bottom.
The dashboard on this car is going to be pretty Spartan, but legally we do need a speedo. Here's the one we managed to get out of the original Beetle. Now, I've already cut the hole in the dashboard, so it's just a case of bolting it into place.
There's a mass of cabling which needs to be connected up inside the car, the speedo being just one of them. Because we've shortened the chassis, many of these cables, like the brakes, will also have to be cut down or replaced.
It's often said that cars have a face, and a prominent feature of a beach buggy are its eyes, so we couldn't possibly build one of these things without some pod headlamps.
Our kit comes with some pretty convenient mounting points, so all I need to do is drill into them, bosh the light in, and there we have it. Now, I could have used the original Beetle wiring loom, but by the time I've cut it apart and reattached it and wasted all that extra time, I might as well have started from scratch, which is what I've done.
And there you have it, our buggy now has a face. I'm getting comfortable. In fact, I'm actually fitting the driver's seat. Now, it's fitted with adjustable runners, which give me about 9 inches of travel, so it'll fit somebody as tall as me or as tiny as Mike. Now, once I've actually got it into position, I can mark that position, drill some holes, and then I can bolt the seat down.
I've custom fitted these seats straight onto the floor pan, giving a seat-of-the-pants driving experience.
Well, the seats are firmly bolted in now, but you may be thinking they look a little uncomfortable. Well, that is because they haven't got these. Now, for a beach buggy, that is luxury.
We could have used the old Beetle seats, but they would have looked naff and been hard to fit. These have been specially designed for a buggy.
The front lights look quite literally brilliant, but we're going to need some on the back too. These come off a 4x4, but they're going to look just as good on our buggy.
That's the beauty of this kind of machine. No two are ever the same because everybody chooses different parts. I've gone for these. Other people might go for single units. It's all down to that word taste again. And I'm glad mine's so good.
As it stands, our buggy's looking pretty cool, but I do have a little something that's going to make it look even cooler. The side pods. As you'd expect, there's one for each side.
The side pods are an extra with the Predator body shell, and I think they're worth every penny. After days and nights of ridiculous hard work, they're the final touch that transform our kit car into an instant classic.
This has been a full-on epic build, and I can understand why Mike was beginning to lose faith. To be fair, there were times when even I thought it was looking dodgy. But when you look at the finished article, you know it's been worth it. Even though it's just for the love of it, even though we've blown the budget sky high. When you think of this on the open road, when you think of this on the beach, it's because of this kind of fun that the car was invented.
So what did it all cost? Well, an arm and a leg. And another arm and a leg. The donor beetle was 200 quid, and the Buzzbug Predator body and seats 1,500 quid. The shortened chassis was £500, windscreen was £175, wheels and tyres 650 quid. The engine dress up and exhaust cost 220 quid, lights for the car set me back another £100, and there were countless other bits and bobs that came to £355. Total spent, ready for this? £3,700. Oh dear. What a car we've got! It's a beach buggy. It's something you can have fun with, and this is what it's all about. On the beach, the sun out, the sunglasses on, having the time of my life. Wicked. Well, my boy, you've done it, haven't you? You've pulled off the dream build of our series. I had no George Michael about you whatsoever, and that means faith. But now I have got faith, because just look at it. It's beautifully put together. It's got the right lights on it, these big chrome wheels, the little whippy 1.3 engine sticking out over the back, and that's the original engine from that lump of junk, and it sounds fantastic. And I can make the car dance, and you can't do that with a lot of cars. And that's the fun of the beach buggy. And that's one of the reasons why I just don't want to sell it. Well, this is unique, isn't it? And a first for me, because I've never been to the beach with picnicking families and screaming kids to go and sell a car, but hopefully it should all be worth it, because behind me is a guy called Tobin, and Tobin's hot to trot. He's got cash in his pocket and he wants to buy a bug. And it's going to be a sad moment for me, because that car, I think, is the best car we built this series. So wish me luck as I try to put our little bug to bed. Tobin.
Hi, Mike.
You all right, fella? So what do you think?
Yeah, looks great.
Cracking, isn't it?
Looks a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. This is the short wheelbase version of a Predator body kit, which I think is one of the best looking body kits out there. It's high off the ground, it's got these big chrome wheels, it's all fiberglass, apparently it goes together quite well, and I've got to tell you, down here on the beach I've had some wicked fun. It makes a cracking noise, and that's thanks to this exhaust system. It's got a free flow exhaust on here that makes all the right noises as it goes down the beach. Also, we've got this whizzy distributor cap at the back, and that lights up at night, looks really trick.
Twin port?
Twin port. It's only a 1.3 this, you know, but don't worry about that, because the body weighs about the same as a basket of soup, so it gets down the road quite quickly. You'll be pleased with that. And as for the wheels, we went the whole hog. You know, no expense spared. We've gone for the full chrome, bling, bumplarky, big fat tyres, white lettered wheels, just to give it that classic beach buggy look.
Great. New suspension?
It's got new suspension, yep, and it's all fine. It all works nicely. And because it's fiberglass, this body, obviously it never rusts. So as soon as you've been to the beach, you come home, just hose it down. As long as you hose off the underneath, it should be fine.
And is it all sealed then?
It's all been sealed, everything's been done, yep. And my only regret with this car is having to sell it, because I reckon that we should keep this one. But unfortunately, needs must, and we need some readies.
What are you looking for?
Well, I was hoping for 4,200 quid. I was going to ask 5 grand. And there was a few people that said, yeah, it's probably worth that, but, you know, I'm not greedy. 4,200 quid. Just pay me and we'll go home.
How about 3.5?
3.5 grand! Where do you people come from? The blood, sweat and tears that went into this for 3.5 grand? No way. 4 grand cash.
It's not quite the colour I was looking for, but...
You sound like my wife. Don't worry about the colour. The colour's fantastic. It looks great on sand.
How about 3.9?
3,900 quid.
Yep.
Cash.
In my pocket.
Really? I bet you got more than that in your pocket. Hold out your hand.